Hello everyone, I'm Joel from Sorry Not Sorry, and this is my first vlog. As you may be able to tell, my mouth is very numb, as you can tell by the way I'm talking. I just got done with the dentist, and it was quite an infuriating experience. So I decided that I should tell you all about it, of course, because you really care about me and the dentist, right? Makes sense to me. Okay, so it all starts out, I get in there, I'm really excited, woohoo, dentist, right? It's gonna be great. My teeth are gonna look white, my cavities will be gone, life will be good. We start out with the nitrogen gas, the silly gas, as my dentist likes to call it. He told me all the things: you might feel euphoria, you might feel happiness, you might feel silly, or you might feel very drugged. Guess what? I felt very, very drugged. Felt like the room was spinning, and I thought that I was going to end up like Doug from The Hangover on top of the roof or something. I didn't know where I was. But in the end, it was good because I didn't feel any of the numbing that happened that I still have now, and the procedure would go. It wouldn't hurt. The procedure would not hurt from that point forward. Um, but then he made me wait the typical 10 minutes. He wanted me to get numb, and the nice dental hygienist says, do you want an iPod to listen to music with? And I said, oh, sure, that sounds like a great idea. I would love to listen to music while I am getting my teeth worked out, of course. And so she gives me the iPod, and she walks away. And she leaves for like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll set up my iPod, and I'll get ready for the procedure. But guess what? Of course, she did not give me the password for the iPod. So I'm like, okay, lady, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, okay, I have my iPhone. I'll pull my iPhone out. So I go on my iPhone and I'm playing with it. I'm trying to figure out how to get iHeartRadio or some kind of radio working. So while they're working on my teeth, I can be listening to music. Um, and of course, I didn't know the Wi-Fi password, so I asked her what the Wi-Fi password was, and she gave it to me. And of course, it was "smile here." It makes a lot of sense because it's all about dental hygiene at this place. And so I get the iPod, I get my Wi-Fi set up, and of course, it doesn't work. But the doctor comes back and he's ready, and I'm like, okay, let's get this thing done already. I am ready to go. And he says, where are the X-rays? I'm like, okay, I don't know why you need X-rays when you're just working on my teeth. But he decided he needed them, and he walks off. Like 10 minutes pass. Like, seriously, 10, 15 minutes pass. The dental hygienist is just staring at me. She's staring at me, just wondering what to do. It was really creepy. I was like, stop looking at me. And I have my fancy sunglasses on, and it's pretty hot in there. And I was like, okay, just don't look at her. She's really awkward. And then he comes back, and he didn't have any X-rays. So evidently they weren't mine. He just wasted 15 minutes of my time. And he starts working on my teeth, and I don't know about you guys, but I just hate the sound of the grinding of the metal in the teeth. It's just, it's disgusting. And the smell, there's this really nauseating smell that comes from it, and it's not good for me. But right in the middle of it, that really great Christmas song comes on about Santa and his reindeer. And of course, the dentist, rather than finishing the job, he's like, "Hey, do you guys know the names of all the reindeer?" And he stops, and he has his tool up in the air like this, and it's just the light is glinting off, just glaring into my eye. I can barely see, and I hear him making all these jokes. And for him, naming the reindeer, it was a real struggle, real struggle. He started out by trying to name them. He started out with names like Didson, Brancer, and Blixen. These names that no one has ever heard of before. And this guy's like 50 to 60 years old. I'm not sure what was wrong. But instead of him going through his motions, blah, 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 trying out the whole reindeer thing, he then asks his dental hygienist to name all of them. She tries, and then she asks another dental hygienist. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, come on! I wanted to get done here. My teeth were hurting, my jaw was tired, and I've been there for an hour already. But we finally get done with that, and he finally does all that good stuff, and he walks off again. This dentist, not very committed to finishing the job. He likes to run off and then come back. And so my dental hygienist, who's a very nice lady, I should say, she started working on me and getting me ready for my fillings, because the first part was just about getting the cavity gone. And I don't understand why they don't just do it all together, but I guess cavity and then filling. So she's doing it and she's having a hard time, and it ends up being kind of weird because he comes out of nowhere and he's like, okay, I'll help, signifying that somehow he is better at doing it than she is, or he has more of a skill. So he bumps her out of the way and he gets going. And honestly, this person, I just don't know how it just seems quite arrogant to me. Um, the fact that he wouldn't even let her do it. And both times, both feelings that I got, he would bump her out of the way and do it. And something I found really irritating but interesting too is that dentists often talk to you in a very childish, condescending way. Have you ever noticed that? Um, he's like, and first they get mad at you. They're like, "Open your mouth wider," and you're like, ah, trying so hard to get your mouth open, and they're like, "Just a little bit wider," and then you finally do it, and your jaw is just breaking, right? And then they're like, "Good job," and you're like, "Was it a good job?" Just so condescending and patronizing. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And then I get done after an hour and a half of procedure. I have two fillings, two fillings. I feel like it should be a lot faster than that. But I go out there, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna make my payment for my procedure today. And she's like, Joel, you're gonna need to take a seat because I need to do some changes in your paperwork. It's only the fifth time I've done changes in paperwork. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I go and sit in I call it the fancy chair. This is a really cool chair. It has vibrators on the back of it for your back. You get to lay back. I was like, oh yeah, this feels good. I sat there for like 20 minutes, if you can believe that. 20 minutes. Changing in paperwork took really that long? That long? Okay, so sitting in the chair, waiting, and she comes up and she says, Joel, we have some problems. And I'm like, yeah, about that. And she's like, yeah, you haven't really paid a lot of money lately for your procedures, and yeah, have your mom call us. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. We're making our monthly payments, and guess what? You guys overcharge us. You ask too much of us, and you bitch at us when we don't give you the money, the right amount of money. So, you know what? Take me in a card. I it was irritating. I was like, you know what? I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude at all. I walked out and I was like, have a good holiday with my half mouth numb. And I walked out and I was just like, I am done with this place, blah, blah, blah. And I was out of there. So, that is my vlog. It was a very interesting experience, infuriating, also funny. Definitely worthy of my time. I hope my teeth work out well. I hope that I feel better, and hope you guys subscribe to Sorry Not Sorry. You know what? For my dentist, who I'll call Mr. Bob, you and your procedure, not that good. Sorry, not sorry.